Don't know what happened. Don't know what's been going on. Hopefully this is working. If you can hear me and see me, please let me know. Anybody, just say hello. Send me a message. Jesus Christ. Well, now it should be working. What's going on here? Fucking A. I got problems with YouTube. Is there anybody out there? Finally. Unbelievable. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Everything that I do normally I've been doing, and I've had nothing but problems from the beginning this morning. So it happens, and the only thing you can do is try to work through it. I've restarted my computer. I've tried to, I'm trying to connect up to the computer right now. I can't do it. I was gonna make another live stream, because sometimes the streams just, they're corrupted or whatever else is going on. I don't really know. But we're here now. If there's anybody else who sees me and hears me, please let me know and I'll get started. With or without my laptop. So obviously I'm here at Starbucks. All right, finally, man. I'm here at Starbucks, Soy 101. I can't connect up with the hotspot. I don't know what's going on, but that's all right. I don't have to do that. And I don't need my... And this is another thing. My phone keeps going dark. I don't have it on automatic. I've got issues. I've got some technical issues. But let me work through them. Let me get started here. And give me 1 second. I honestly don't know what the deal is, and it's frustrating, but you know, you just do the best you can and you work through it. That's all I can do. I got two issues. One is the internet connection. The other is the brightness of my phone, which caused me to crash my drone a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, maybe it's the mirror behind me. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. But it seems to be working now, so let's just get through it. I can't see who's in the stream. I can't see. Normally I see everything in front of me. Now I can't see anything. All I see is my face and messages coming in here and there. So anyway, we're here at Starbucks on 101. It's my go-to place right now, considering that the ones in the mall, they just don't have the same flavor and character that the one I used to go to on the ground floor, and I don't feel like going out in traffic today. Air quality is 153. It's gotten ridiculous. The air quality in Thailand has gotten ridiculous. I've been looking for places in the south with better air quality, And if you look on the air quality map, it's what is it, aqin.org. If you look on that map for Thailand, most of the places that are healthy, it's like you got Chantaburi, you got Chayapum, and there's another place, I don't remember where it is, but they're not near a beach. And all the rest are either unhealthy for sensitive individuals or just flat out unhealthy. And like I said, I can feel it now. I'm starting to feel it, and I haven't felt it when they first started talking about it, but now I'm starting to feel the air quality. And you know, it's only a couple of months before we leave and get out of here, go back to the States. But when I come back, we're making a change. We just have to. This is just not, it's just not healthy. It's that bad. And the reason that I want to talk about budgets again is I saw a couple of videos pop up, you know, when I go onto YouTube, you know, everything, you get subjects and people that you want to see, you don't want to see. And a couple videos popped up, some were old, some were not, about living in Thailand. Oh, you can live so great for $500. You can live so great for $1,000. And I've already made it very clear. You can live however you want to live. Thais live off of, there are Thais that live off of next to nothing. That doesn't mean that they want to live that way. Some foreigners think because they can come to Thailand and eat for $1.20, that's the lifestyle for them. And I got news for you. And you know what? I'm not one of these guys who's been here for a year. I haven't been here for 6 months. I'm not here. And I don't know how long I'm going to stay. I might be here for 2 years. I'm not sure yet. I'm not some newbie. I've done the whole eat only Thai food. And I love Thai food. I absolutely love Thai food, and it bothers me I can't eat Thai food right now, or I don't eat much of it right now, because I'd love to have a big plate of noodles. I'd like to have some kuih. I'd like to have all that stuff, and you know, I will eventually, but I'm trying to watch my weight. I'm trying to lose weight, get in better shape. So I want to watch it a little bit. I don't want to be eating as many carbs. I don't want to be loading up like, you know, every morning having a big bowl of noodles and some patang go, which, if you know anything, patang go is the doughy, it's a doughy food that it's in all kinds of different shapes, but you eat it with joke, you eat it with sweets, and it's extremely fattening. I love that stuff. It's fantastic. I love Thai food, so don't get it twisted. I'm not bashing on Thailand about this. I'm just saying there's going to come a point in your life in Thailand where you want more than just, I just live in this little bungalow and it's so great. It's right near the beach. It's fantastic. It's only 10,000 baht a month. Yeah, but you don't own the place, first of all. And okay, yeah, great. Maybe you don't want to own a place. So okay, good. But maybe you don't want to live in one room. You don't want to live in a studio apartment. You don't want to live in a small one bedroom. Or maybe you want to live in a house. Maybe you want to live in a condo. Maybe you want to live somewhere where you have some luxury. And this is the difference. I mean, you can be homeless if you want. You know, if you really want, you can live off of next to nothing. Scavenge in the garbage. You can do that. I'm going to tell you that if you want to eat healthy, I mean really healthy. I'm not talking about, you know, I'm going to have some fried rice and chicken, and it's pretty healthy. Yeah, okay, maybe it is. Depends on how much oil they put in and all this other kind of stuff. But I'm going to say that for the vast majority of people, good morning, everybody. Sawadee Ton Chow, Sawadee Kap. For the majority of people who are decent-sized Westerners, they are foreigners who have a little size. they're not going to eat like my wife. They're not going to eat a bowl of noodles with an egg in it, and that's going to suffice for them. Unless there's some guy, he's 100 pounds or something like that, maybe he'll be able to get by with it. Maybe he's okay. Maybe he's a young guy, he just wants to stay in Thailand for a few months, and he doesn't care what he has to do. He'll live off of $200 a month. Okay, I'm not saying it's not possible. What I'm going to say, though, is that I'm going to go over some things that you may want when you live here. And you think how you live back in the West, okay, take away some of the luxury items. And you still may want a similar lifestyle here, except maybe you don't want a car. I don't want a car in Bangkok. I don't want a motorcycle in Bangkok because I can have a driver if I want to go somewhere and I just pay a little more money. I don't want to rent a motorbike. And for right now, I don't want to buy one. The other day I talked to you guys about how, you can live off of this much. My wife said she can live off of $4,500 a month, and I still would challenge her to do that for the rest of her life, or, give her a little cost of living increase every year, every 2 years. I don't think she would have a great life because money is what it is. Now, I'm going to tell you a little about my own family and how much we spend on certain items and certain things that I would like to have that I don't have, or that maybe in the future we'll have, but we just haven't pulled the trigger because we don't feel like we need it, like a car. But if we are out in some village somewhere, we may need a car. If we were living in Suratani, I would say we need a truck. You could get by with a motorcycle, but if you really want to be able to do things right, you're going to need something like at least a car. And where she lives, with the roads the way they are, you would probably you'd be better off with a truck. That's going to cost you money. Now, if you got a bunch of money in the bank, you can just stick it in the bank. I mean, you stick it, put it down on a used car, you get yourself a used truck or whatever. Yeah, okay, it's not going to cost you all that much. But you still got to pay for things like gasoline, maintenance on the vehicle, registration every year. Now, all these things add up. Okay, so let me just talk about something. We're going to talk about food, because I know at least 2 expats that generally never eat Thai food. They just don't. And one of them is Jono. He doesn't eat Thai food. He eats maybe Japanese food. He eats American food. He'll have some pizza. He makes his own. And this is the thing. I make my own food most of the time. I no longer go out and have as many Thai dishes. I don't always go to Happy Land and have a Thai dish. And now Thai dishes have gone up in price. Most of the time, you're going to find them for anywhere from about 40 to 60 baht for a dish at like a food court or something like that. So there's one meal. Let's say you're going to eat 2 meals a day. All right. You can get by for next to nothing if you're eating Thai food. However, if you're going to go to the grocery and you actually want to make a steak, you want to make a pork chop, you want to make something with a little, maybe you have some Thai noodles on the side, maybe you have a little bit of pad Thai on the side, it's not the entire dish. You have a piece of chicken on the side or whatever it is. Like with me, I'll have some bacon, I'll have sausage, I'll have, yesterday I had a meatloaf. And actually, I met up with Tom yesterday. You guys have seen Tom on the stream before. And he lives fairly frugally. Not cheaply, but frugally. And I can tell you he doesn't live for $1,000 a month. Now, we're in Bangkok, so obviously the prices are going to vary depending on where you are located, depending on whether you live out in a village somewhere and you know, some things you're doing without, you're buying Thai food, 9/10 of the time or whatever. It depends on how you're living. But I know for a fact that a lot of guys that are from the West, after they've lived here for a while, they're not eating Thai food all the time. And somebody who's been here 10 or 15 years is not eating only Thai food all the time. I'm going to say that with great confidence. The majority of people who have been living here for quite some time, I'm not saying they won't eat Thai food, but they're not only eating Thai food because, well, I can eat it for so cheap and it's so delicious. Good morning, good morning. So, I'm going to tell you, this is 2 weeks now. We're 2 weeks into the month here. It's the 14th. I have spent so far at the grocery, and this is mainly for my food. Alex may have something from it. Nicholas is living away from us, so he has his own money. We allot we allot funds for him to eat, and he does his own thing. My wife basically eats her own food. We don't generally eat the same meal all the time as a family. It's just because we're not, logistically, it's not set up that way anymore. Alex is working. He doesn't come home until late. I've already eaten. My wife eats before he does. He comes home after she does most of the time. But she'll make him a meal. Now most of the time, she doesn't make him a Thai dish. Sometimes he'll get an omelet. He'll get some fried rice or some noodles. But like yesterday, he had part of my meatloaf. Okay? I paid 250 baht for a kilo of ground beef. Now that's on sale. That's a 2-for-1. It's usually 500 grams of this particular ground beef, which is not a high-end ground beef, but it's not the cheapest. Normally you would get half of what I made. I made a kilo of ground beef. I put cheese on it, put onions on it. I chopped up some nice sausage, put that in there, and then a little cilantro, and like I said, some cheese. That made a big dish of meatloaf. So I had a serving, Alex had a serving, and there's one serving in the refrigerator. So that was, let's say that I paid $250. That's a good deal for the ground beef. But everything else will say, let's just say it's another 50 baht. That's 300 baht. 150 baht, 100 baht a meal for 3 of us. So 300 baht that cost. That's a great price for what we had. But so far this month, in 2 weeks, just on food, I've spent 6,178 baht and 77 satang. I've spent another 1,020 baht for coffee. So that's 7,198. So let's just say 7,200 baht. Now, with the coffee and everything else, basically it'll come out to about 15,000 baht a month. Now that's mainly for me. 15,000 baht a month for groceries. Now if your apartment is 320 bucks, you've already spent $850 on just food. And this is not going out eating. I don't go out many places because I want the food that I want. I want a particular type of food. I don't want it slathered with a sauce with sugar on it. I don't want to eat a bunch of rice. I don't want to eat a bunch of noodles. That's just me now. I haven't always been this way. So in the past, maybe I could get by on 10,000, 12,000 baht. And the person, CJ, who contacted me a couple of days ago, a week or two ago, I told him, I said, you could probably get by fairly comfortably for 8,000 to 12,000 baht just for the food. you'll be able to eat pretty good. 8 to 12,000 baht. Let's just say that that's 300 baht a day. Yeah, you can live pretty good off of 300 baht a day. For the food. Now, I'm going to just read over a few things. And obviously, this is different for me because I have 2 kids and I got a wife. And I don't know exactly what my wife spends. I have an idea about some things, but I don't know about some other things. I don't know exactly how much she's spending every time she goes out with the team to go work, you know, and have a working lunch and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how much she's always spending. And it doesn't really bother me what she spends because she's spending her own money. But our rent is cheap. Our rent is 7,000 baht. Okay. Now, before I go any further, if you do end up enjoying this, I'm sorry about the shaky start and the late start. But if you do end up enjoying this and you get something from it, you find the information on the channel valuable, become a member of my Patreon, become a member of my website, get a shirt, do something. You can become a member of the YouTube channel for like $1.99. Somehow, if you're gonna, I always say this, if you're looking to move to Thailand and you're gonna spend thousands of dollars to come here and visit and then to move here, I don't think a couple of bucks is all that much. You know, I mean, really, you're getting information. So let me just go over this stuff real quick. Gennaro, I'm at 101. The usual. All right, I already said rent 7,000. Now this month our electric was a little higher than last month. Last month our electric was 4,200 baht. This month it was 5,400 baht. Now that may sound like a bit much, but when there's always somebody home, whether it's me or my wife or my kids, and it's hot during the hot season, it's now starting to get hot, it's going to be more expensive for the electricity. Not only that, we have 2 refrigerators. We have, I don't know how many phones, we probably have 6 computers altogether, including laptops. My wife's got 2 laptops. My kids have 2 laptops each. I got a laptop, and then there's a computer connected to the TV. So, you know, obviously this is different because I have a family. This is 4, not just 1 person. Which brings me to the next point. You may come over here, especially if you're a younger guy, you may come over here and be single. You may not end up single. You may end up having a girlfriend or girlfriends, and it's going to cost you extra money. If you don't think it will, you better think again. Now, I remember going out with my wife, and she would say, we don't have to go anywhere nice, we'll just go out somewhere on the street. And it would cost us 100 baht for the 2 of us, and we had a drink and we had a nice meal. Okay, great. Even she doesn't want to eat Thai food all the time. So, you know, that's the first thing. Don't let the people fool you and into believing that you're going to be able to eat Thai food. You're not going to eat Thai food all the time. It's not going to happen. You're going to get sick of it. You know how many pad Thai dishes I've had? You know how many fried rice dishes I've had? How many noodle dishes I've had? It's crazy, you know? So I like to have a little bit of variety. Most people do. All right, we have to pay our water. This month our electricity was almost 5,500 baht. Our water bill used to be 150 to 200 baht. Now our water bill has gone up, and this month it's 450 baht. You're not going to pay that if you're living in a studio apartment, especially if you're living out in the sticks somewhere or in some small place, wherever it may be. You're not going to pay that. But you're not going to want to live that way all your life. Most people won't. They're not going to live in a tiny little shack. And the reason I say that is at least because I know at least a few people, including myself, who, if I lived in a studio apartment that was relatively small, I would go stir crazy. I'd want to get out all the time. And in order to go out, it's going to cost you money. Now, you can walk down the street, which I do sometimes, and you go somewhere. You can do that. But your options are limited. That's the other thing. Okay, internet. Our internet at our house is 747 baht. We get 500 gigs up, 500 gigs down. That's a pretty good price, all things considered. I'm not going to compare it to America. I'm not going to compare it to anywhere else, because all that matters is here and the overall scheme of things. Now, you don't always have to pay for internet, because in some places they will give you the internet or they will charge you a bare minimum. Same thing goes same thing goes. Well, see, there you go, making assumptions, Janara. That's just ridiculous. 600 to 1,000 baht a month. No, that's not true. You're talking about dollar? Yeah, you said baht. Get a nice apartment. Okay? Start accumulating a few things that take some electricity. Yeah, you might get by on that for a while, but eventually, if you live here for any length of time, you're going to accumulate some stuff. I'm not talking about stuff that is completely unnecessary. I know about stuff that's completely unnecessary because my kids still have their books from like grade school. My wife still has clothes she can't fit in them anymore. And she doesn't want to because the style is not in anymore. But that doesn't mean she throws the stuff away, or my kids throw the stuff away. Oh, maybe I can sell them down at the bookstore or something, you know, and then they never sell them. Things like that. Now, I have a few things of my own that I can probably get rid of, but not many. Okay? I mean, if I'm going to leave and go somewhere, like, for instance, I've been saying that I've been thinking about going somewhere a little bit outside of Bangkok, and Chantaburi is actually a thought. I just don't know if it's a little too far from my wife. Well, you don't have all that much stuff. Your stuff doesn't take that much room up. Come on, it's like a little bag. It's sitting in a closet somewhere. Cats probably shit on it, I don't know. I'm joking. Anyway, so what I was going to say, I don't want to answer any messages right now because I'm on a roll. I don't want to stop thinking and lose my train of thought. A lot of the stuff I have, like, could I get rid of my books? Yes, I could. Do I want to? Some of them I don't mind. And if I do want to get rid of them, I'll go down, I'll get 100 baht, 50 baht, 20 baht, whatever it is for each book, and I'll make some money. I'll get rid of them. Do I need the bookshelf? No. If I'm going to move to wherever it is, Chantaburi, Chaam, wherever it is, and live there part-time and still retain the place in Bangkok, what do you think I'm going to bring down to wherever it is that I'm living? Probably I'll bring a camera, I'll bring my laptop, I'll bring my gimbal, I'll bring you know, like a little mini tripod. I might even bring a tripod, I don't know. And then clothes. And then, you know, some toiletries and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna load up the place. Now, if I end up living there long term, probably there will be at least a few more things there. There's an additional expense. If you don't want to, if you're living in Bangkok like I am, and really we're living in Bangkok now because it is the best place for us. It's 9:35. So let me go on here. We have to pay the garbage. Every month we pay 150 baht for our garbage. Okay, it's not that much, but you know, there's 150 baht. My cell phone. Now, I use my cell phone. There you go. So he paid 1,400 plus 300. Now, my cell phone, it really depends. Depends on, am I streaming a lot? What am I using? A lot of times I'll pay 650 baht, 850 baht, and I'll get unlimited internet for a month for that price. But that does not include money online in case you want to pay with something for with line. For instance, your Rabbit card. You know, because your Rabbit card is connected to your line account, so that when you go on the SkyTrain, it comes right off of your card, but that card is connected to, like I said, the line account. Also with line, you can pay your water bill. So, but also you need money on your phone, because there are times when you cannot call somebody online here. And then, like for me, I have the Magic Jack. That cost me about $6 a month. Actually, it's you pay every year. It's $72 a year. That allows me to call North America anywhere on a cell phone, on a landline, whatever, and I can call that, and it doesn't cost me anything except for that yearly fee. So I call for free. I speak to my parents probably twice a week, and an hour every time. I speak to my sister maybe once a month. I speak to a couple of my buddies. You know, I still keep in touch with people. So that's a little bit of an expense. It's not that much, but it adds up. Right now, as I said, we pay for Nicholas just for his apartment and his food and his electricity. The apartment, when I say apartment, we include everything in that. The electricity, the water, the internet, and that works out to about $12,000 a month. Is that what it is? No. It's $6,000 a month for that. And plus we give him another $9,000 for food. So $15,000 a month he gets for food. And we don't have to do that, but we do it because he's our son, and we feel like right now it's a good thing he's working. We just let him sock away the money. So that's how it works. Eventually he's going to have to, okay, Gennaro, $50 a month is peanuts. But again, if you are living in a bigger place, if it's extremely hot, if you don't have good airflow wherever you live, you may spend quite a bit more. Okay, we also pay for Alex to go to school, to go and come back to school. Now that's not all that much, but we give him about 1,000 baht a month. 1,000 baht a week, excuse me. That's so he has a little money for food. He can go back and forth. If he wants to take a taxi, he can take a taxi. However, this was to school, but it's just the same as when he goes to work, which he's working right now. We also pay for their tuition. Now, their tuition works out between 20 to 25,000 baht a month. That's about what it works out to. You don't pay it every month, but that's about what it works out to. So, if you're going to have kids here, you better figure it's going to cost you some money. Now, you can put them in a public school, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad thing. I mean, you know, you have a burden of responsibility as well to help teach them. And not all schools are alike. Okay. How you doing there, Chang Noi? Thanks for dropping by. Say hello to Patia Bob. Now, we also have Netflix. Now, you don't have to have Netflix. It's not mandatory. However, we don't have cable. All right. We don't have cable. And I don't want cable. Cable here, if you have the full package, is something, I don't know what it is now, but years ago, it was like 2,500 baht. That doesn't include any pay-per-views or anything like that, because nowadays they're starting to charge a little bit for pay-per-views. They didn't used to. But it was about 2,500. So I'm going to say between 2,500 and 3,000 baht a month if you want cable. And that is like that's like a pretty good package. That's like one of the best packages, if not the best. We don't have cable. We got Netflix. And while I don't watch it all the time, one of us in the family is usually watching it. That's 350 baht. Now, I didn't include any spending. I didn't include any personal care for like when I go and get my hair cut, I get a massage or something like that. That works out really. If I do a massage once a week and a haircut like once every 2 weeks, I mean, you're talking about, like with the tip, if I get like a 2-hour massage, you're talking about maybe between 1,200 and 1,500 baht a month. Now, I don't always spend that because I don't always have it, but I like to. And my massages, I don't usually get them. If I do, I get like a hand and shoulder massage. You know, I don't get the whole full Monty. Okay, the other thing is, in some cases, and I have multiple banks here in Thailand, and I have 3 banks in the States. One of which I don't use and I can't use until I go back to the States. Another one doesn't charge me a monthly fee, and one of them charges me 25 bucks a month. I think I got to put 25 grand in there in order for them to waive that fee, which sounds not so good, but I have high limits on my ATM card and all this other kind of stuff. You know, the, what do you call it? I don't know how much it is, but I'm going to say probably 5,000 baht, Gennaro, going by what I've heard and what I know. And you know, Gennaro, this is the thing. We're not including any of that as well. We're not including that, okay? All that is, that's the gravy. That's the icing on the cake, if you want it. Okay, so I said bank account. If you have a credit card, make sure you pay it every month. That's what I'll say. Food, like I said, food's gonna cost you anywhere from, bare minimum, I'm gonna say, you spend 200 baht a day. That's like the bare minimum. You wanna eat Thai food all the time, all right, you can get by on that pretty well. You know, you can eat pretty good, you can have a drink, but I'm not including beer, I'm not including alcohol, I'm not including any of that stuff. Because especially if you drink wine, it's expensive. If you drink imported beer, it's expensive. Not including visas either, because everybody's got their own way of dealing with that. We have Spotify, 210 baht a month. That's not very much, but you know what? For all of us, we all like music. It's all something, you know, it's entertainment, but, and it used to be 190. They just kicked it up a year or so ago to 200,000. Transportation. Now, transportation costs have gone up, and I probably spend 2,000-3,000 a month on transportation, and that is if I'm not going, I'm not traveling like to Chiang Mai or anything. I'm not counting that. I'm counting local transportation, and by local I mean I can get there by the boat, and then a motorcycle or a taxi. I'm not talking about taking some trip. I've been meaning to go to the Mae Klong Railway, you know, the market where the train comes and they have to move all their stuff off the train. I've been meaning to go there. But you know what? If I want to take a taxi there, it's 500-600 baht each way. So, you know, sometimes you need a car, you need a motorcycle. It would help. But most of the time, I don't need that. That's an additional expense, which I haven't really even got into all that much. And then, like I said, we got tuition for the kids. I've got iCloud. I've got the you know, Apple iCloud, and I pay $2.99 a month. Again, not all that much, and considering that I use it for storage and many other things, and I get extra space, it's worth it to me, especially with what I'm doing here. GoDaddy, I got you know, websites. Okay, that works out to about 60 bucks a year, $5 a month. Shopify, you want to buy one of my shirts? go onto my website at americaninbangkok.com, because every month I have been paying $29 a month to use Shopify, and that doesn't include fees and anything else, which, by the way, I'm not even counting banking fees that you may have, fees for a ATM card, which my buddy Tom just told me yesterday. He went into Bangkok Bank and told them, I know I have to pay for my new card. I don't want the card. I'm not paying 300 baht, because he doesn't want to have to pay it every year, which I understand because I barely use my card anymore. I'm going to do the same thing. Service, I don't see, where's Carnival Chronicles? I don't even see one of his comments. What are you talking about? You lost me. There are many Vietnamese bikini cafes here. Okay, what's that got to do with the price of tea in China? Yeah, I mean, this is another thing. You want to go out and go get some entertainment. You want to go to a little place that, you know, like a little karaoke, some kind of a G club or something like that. Forget about it, man. You're not going to do it on $1,000 a month. You're not going to have that kind of fun. So your experiences, you can still have a good time on $1,000, $1,500 a month. You can have a good time. You can live comfortably. And then again, I always think it's better to have money in the bank and not spend as much as you have available, and in that way you're able to save some. So transportation costs can add up. However, they are probably a lot better than anywhere else that I can think of, like the States or in the UK, Japan. The prices are better here. You can get around much easier, and you can get around. There's 4 different rail lines you can get around through the country. There's bus lines, there's minivans, there's song tows, there's boats, there's all kinds of stuff. You spend around 2,000 Aus. Yeah, okay, so there you go. Let's see, what else do I got? Okay, I got Vimeo for videos. That's my own thing. That's $10 a month. I have another thing that's $5 a month. That's that provides security to your website. Medical insurance. Now that's going to vary from person to person. But I can tell you now we're probably paying, let me think here, I can't remember what the new amount is, but it's probably around $8,000 a month, and that is for me and Nicholas and Alex. And that's the other thing. Yeah, forget about it. You want to smoke some weed? You know how much that stuff costs? It's not cheap. You know, I mean, I've heard from many people, and I myself have, looked at the prices and went into a few shops for friends, and I know that the prices are quite a bit higher, or a fair bit higher than many other places. It's not cheap. You're not gonna, oh man, I can get a great doobie of some good stuff for like, $1. No, it's not gonna happen. Okay, so the medical insurance, that can be a big expense. I also have the web designer hosting company that I use. That's $4 a month. Now, miscellaneous, that's probably $100 a month. I'm talking about, something breaks at the house, you need a new plug, you gotta spend a few bucks. You spend a little bit too much at the grocery store or whatever, so that works out to about let's say $20 to $25 a week extra. So some of the other things that I was thinking about, because this morning I went to feed Sid. Every time you buy a bag of cat food, it's about $10. Okay, he gets yeah, I've only seen one of his comments, unfortunately. Bikini Coffee Cafe, that's all I can see. But every time we do that, we buy him some cat food. We buy a bag of cat food per week, and it's about $9, maybe $10. And it's it's a quality cat food. It's not like the dirt cheap cat food. It's a decent cat food. It's like, I don't know, Purina or Pedigree or something. I don't remember what it is. So, that cost a little. And then he also gets little treats. Cats like their little treats. They need little toys. They need this. They need that. So we probably spend about $60 a month just on sick. So animal care. And he's not a sick cat. We haven't had to take him to the vet. So if you've got an animal that's sick, especially if it's like a big dog or something, you're talking about a fair amount of money, man. I mean, that adds to your expenses. I don't have it locked down. And you must be referring to someone else because you used my name after the word knucklehead. So, think about that. You want a dog? You want a couple of dogs? You want a cat? You want a couple of cats? You want cats and dogs? You want other kinds of animals? You're talking $50 to $100 a month for animal care. Nobody thinks of that. Oh, I want a dog. Maybe you meet this girl and she's wonderful, but she's like, I want a little puppy. And you're like, oh, I love her so much. I'm going to get her a puppy for Christmas. Well, guess what? Not only is that an added responsibility, which right now I'm feeling the brunt of that because, my wife is not home. She's in Spain. And, she's raring to come home already. And she misses the cat. The cat has been extra sweet to me because he probably knows she is not there to save his little ass from me. If he does anything and he acts up and he's scratching on the wall or he's, running around and bouncing off my head or anything like that, he knows. Or if he's jumping up and biting me because he wants to play or scratching me, he's not doing any of that because he knows mama's not around to kiss his little ass and to take, to hold him and baby him. So he's been very good with me, but I have to make sure that he's fed and watered and taken care of. Let him out, that kind of thing. I mean, Gennaro, you're talking about wireless road. You're probably talking about 150,000. I met a Cambodian guy who worked at the U.S. Embassy many, many years ago, and he had the place, and he didn't pay anything. They provided it for him, and at the time, this is almost 30 years ago, it was $60,000 a month, and it was one bedroom, and he had a big living room, and it was completely furnished, and it was very, very nice. But you're talking probably in the neighborhood of $75,000 to $150,000 and up. Gennaro, you are a dreamer, I'll tell you that. I'd be surprised if you could land a Bob-ear. Byfern is off limits, I'm sorry. She's not going to have anything to do with you. No offense. Which is another thing. Let's get real. All these guys out there going, oh, my girlfriend's high, so. No, she isn't. No, she isn't. If she's high, so you ain't going to have to talk about it. And neither is she. Just because she's driving a Mercedes doesn't mean she's high, so. Let's just get real. Because I'm just, I don't look at a lot of videos, but I've seen a lot lately popping up. And I see the titles and I just go, Jesus Christ. Come on. Get real. And this is the thing. I don't want to say anything. I've been here longer than most people. I do this. No, I don't need to say that. It is what it is. There are guys that have been here 2 years that probably know more about certain aspects of Thailand than I do. And that's okay. That's how it works. But don't play it off like Thailand is the perfect place and everything is wonderful. If it's so goddamn wonderful, excuse my French, then why on earth do you need to wear a frickin' mask to go outside so that you don't die from pollution, from the toxins in the air? That ain't paradise to me, pal. You know what I mean? So let's just be real. I'm trying to, keep it real. It's a wonderful place, a lot of great things. I love the fact that I can just make a phone call, some guy on a motorcycle or in a car. I can get a little luxury sedan if I feel like doing, if I get like the 25% off on Grab, I'll pay 200 baht and I get a nice little sedan instead of some little car that's like a taxi. I get a luxury vehicle with a driver, and the guy will take me, halfway across town for like 150 baht. I love that. I love the fact that if I want to get something to eat, I can stop in just about anywhere and there's going to be food there, or water, or something. I love that. There are a lot of great things about this place, so don't get it twisted. I'm just trying to keep it real. You can live off of 500 bucks if you want, but there's a reason why so many Thais that live off of 500 bucks are saying, I need more money. I would like to have more money. It would be nice if I had more money. It's no different than back home in the States. Well, how so? Please tell me how it's so much different than the way you live. I mean, I understand people live in villages and they live in bungalows on the beach and they do that, but how so? Yeah, well, my wife is hooking up with Lalisa also. She paid 8,000 baht for a freaking ticket. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? But, it's like, I don't ever splurge on anything. And she doesn't. She doesn't go out and buy, Fendi and all this other kind of stuff. She doesn't do that. She'll get the $2.99 special or whatever. But when it comes to Lalisa, it's like, to her, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing to be able to go and see Lalisa. And she wanted me to go, and I said no. What's really obvious is that everyone seems to wear their masks still. Well, I don't know, because I was just saying yesterday that there are a lot of Thais now that are not wearing their masks. I mean, you can just look inside, people aren't wearing their masks. I can show you, there's 3 motorbikes that went by, 5 people on motorbikes, Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm in a big part of the city. This is a very busy area. Lat Phrao, forget about it. This is Lat Phrao 101. This is not the main vein, but it is certainly an artery. One of the many arteries that connect up with Lat Phrao. So this is a busy street. And that's why they're building the monorail, and they just put the concrete down. They laid it down in the last couple of days, and so it's almost done. Yeah, the air is horrible here. So, I'm sorry, but I like I said, I'm just trying to keep it real. There are some traffic is a bitch. Flat out. There's a reason why I take a motorcycle to come over here instead of a car, and I know, hey, it can be dangerous. I do it because I'm like, man, I don't want to sit in traffic for 25 minutes to get here when it'll take me 7 minutes to get here by motorbike. So that's an advantage in one way. If I crash, it's not an advantage. But what else was I going to say here? Yeah, I mean, you can live out in a village and you can live for less money, with less amenities, and it depends on where you are. I mean, like I said, I noticed a few places that they're in the green as far as air quality. But they're places I don't want to live. I don't want to live in Chayapuman. I think Jim is living there. I don't want to live there. It's not a place I want to live. Canterbury alone, if I can live near the beach, okay, maybe. And then there was some other place, and I didn't want to live there. There's no way in hell I'm living there. You know. So your options are a little bit limited because of the air, but okay, let's get past that and say you want to live somewhere with moderately decent air quality. There are plenty of places in the south. All right, let me read some of these messages because I have not been looking very much. Watch them, Ree. Yeah, wireless is it's known as being an expensive area, just like Tonglor. You can live a little bit away from those places and you pay quite a bit less. Rajtamri, yeah, that's all right. Nearby Soy Ari, I mean, Chucky likes that area, but he may like it for different reasons, I don't know. Well, you know, if you go ahead and you buy your own place, or you've got a place already, you know, your girl has a place or whatever it is. Obviously, I've lived that way before, and you know, it's great. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay, you know, like a condo fee, which is, you know, is really not that much. But all in all, you may be paying to the bank, you know. Anyway, let me go on. Then there's things like dental and vision. Every time I get my eyes checked, which is about once a year, it costs me around 12,000 baht. Now that's not to get my eyes checked. That's because, maybe it's because of my age. Maybe if you're younger and you don't need glasses so often, but when you start getting older, your eyes get worse and worse and worse, and it happens fairly rapidly that your eyes get worse. It'll cost me about 2,000 to 2,000, maybe 3,000, but most of the time only about 2,000 to get a full eye checkup. I'm not talking about, you know, you go into some little optical place and some chick who you know, test your eyes out for you. No, I'm talking about you see an ophthalmologist, you get checked the right way, and then you go and you get yourself a pair of what I would say is not really an expensive pair of glasses. You might pay 4,000 baht a pair. That's 8,000. Okay, let's say 4,000 or 5,000 a pair. That's you right around 10,000, 12,000 baht. That's once a year. So let's say 1,000 baht a month. That adds 1,000 baht a month. You know, you go in for dental, like for us, we go in for dental. It's 10, 15,000 baht to go in, get a checkup, get our teeth cleaned. If it's just me, it's 2,000, 2,500, something like that. And then if there's anything wrong, you need a cavity, you need an extraction, you need this, you need that. So you got to figure on that stuff. And that's the thing. Most guys are not figuring that. Oh, I can come over there and live off of $214 and live like a VIP. No, you can't. You're full of shit. Sorry. I gotta just speak out about this because it's been bugging me lately. I see this stuff and I'm like, dude, you are so full of shit. I want to tell some of these people. You know, okay, live like that. Talk to me in 5 years after you've been living in one little room and all you do is eat noodles every day or you eat joke for breakfast. I like joke. The rice porridge. I like it. It tastes great. But I don't want to eat it every day. No. You're not, especially, you're not going to get most of the time, what you get here is you get dental care that is emergency only. So that you lose all your teeth, they'll fix it. They'll fix your mouth. But as far as, you know, yearly checkups and getting you know, your tooth filled or whatever, getting the filling, no, they're not going to pay for that. And with vision, forget about it. I mean, maybe some insurances will, but most of them will not, and especially if you're getting a Thai insurance, company. Now, we've had Thai insurance companies and also now don't have a Thai insurance company. So personally, I think the Thai insurance companies, their ceilings are way too low. Vast majority of them. And if you're a little older, you're going to pay, you're going to pay a pretty penny, especially if you got pre-existing conditions. All right, let me go on. What else? What else am I looking at? Okay, you got to figure that your medical care, you may have a deductible. Let's say that you're paying insurance, but like us, we've only had inpatient coverage. So that means if I go in and I have to get something taken care of, I don't know. I got a pickle growing out of my nose and I need them to do surgery and it's outpatient surgery, then I'm going to have to pay for it. So that adds in. Then you got, what about if you have a deductible? You're going to have to pay for the deductible. So that's included in it. So now I think our medical insurance is somewhere around $250, $300 for three of us, and my own insurance takes up the majority of it. I already talked about tuition if you got kids, and then once they get to, I don't know what it was, 8 years old, 10 years old, if you got a kid, you need to give them lunch money. Well, there's an extra expense. You might not think it's that much, but as they get older, they're going to need more, and it adds up. Then you got to figure if it's not just you got more than one person, you better, and especially if the person's not working, they don't do anything, they don't bring in any income, like your girl, you're taking care of her. Well, how's she going to get around? You're going to have to pay for it. So it's not just your transportation, it's hers as well. And then there's food for other people. What about clothing? What are you going to do if you need some new clothes? Your clothes are worn out. You break your shoes. You only wear most of the time. Listen, I got like 4 pairs of shoes, 5 pairs of shoes. That's all I got. I think I have 1 pair of dress shoes. I've got 2 of these Converse shoes that I've had now for years. You know what I'm talking about, 2Q Asia. I've got some sandals, and I've got some flip-flops, and I've got some tennis shoes. Gennaro. If you got to ask Gennaro, then you ain't a player. Sorry. Yeah, listen, I got holes in my underwear too, and as long as things don't like flop out and hang out, and the holes are not that big, then I get them as necessary. Gennaro, I'm joking in a way with you, but really, I mean, you come here at Soy 101. If you want, you could. I mean, there's women everywhere. You could hook up with all kinds of women. If you're talking about women on the game, well then forget about it. I mean, that's no big deal. It's like going to 7-Eleven. Go down to where Patia Bob is. Go down to Nana. Go to Hui Kwang. Go to some karaoke. I mean, there's places all over. I'm looking right now. There's a Cafe Cowboy. I'm not going to say that place is frequented by the kind of women we're talking about, but there are little places here and there. I mean, all along Lot Prow, there are little karaoke's and little places you can go in, and I guarantee you that a big stud like you with a fat wallet would be able to have a little fun. There's a vlogger who is there at night all the time. Yes, Minnie. I don't care about the other vloggers, what they're doing. Gennaro, I'm here to tell you, buddy, they're everywhere. If you are a player, you will get them anywhere you go. Thailand is that kind of place. I've been sitting here since 7:30 in the morning, and I've probably seen 10 women that you would like. They had something going on. I gotta put it out there though. You say the words, I gotta, address them. That's all. Hey guys, don't forget about me. Visit my website at americaninbangkok.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, a hat, a mug, Bar Girl Lives Matter, Captain Sabaho shirt, a nice little hat, an Aussie in Thailand shirt, whatever it may be. And if you don't want anything like that, well then just hit that super chat button, super thanks button. What is the other one? Cash App. Forget about PayPal now. It's funny that you're saying that Pattaya is full of old guys. I gotta tell you, I've spoken to my wife like 4 times in the last 2 or 3 days since she left. And she said to me, Spain reminds me of Thailand. And I'm like, why is that? She said, everything's under construction. She said the roads are all beaten up. There's construction going all over the place. And she said there's all kinds of old people. She's like, everybody here is old. So what are you going to do? Listen, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, that area is known for the lookers. However, it's also known as being the worst city in the world, one of the worst cities in the world for pollution. So, there used to be more foreigners in my village. I used to see them, well, she's not in Ibiza. She's working, man. I mean, she's got some big thing she's got to do. There's some big presentation and all this other kind of stuff. So, yeah, she's not out partying, I can tell you that. Let's see here. But she's in Mallorca, so, but she's amazed. And I actually said to her, the pier, the marina where you were, it looks pretty nice. I said, but there are marinas everywhere. Go to Phuket. I saw an absolutely fabulous marina in Cannes, France, and I went on a yacht and partied on a yacht with, I don't know who it was like an MTV thing or something. That was 20 years ago, 22 years ago. It was fantastic, but like at the end of the day, you get off the boat. It's not my boat. I don't have the money to have a fabulous yacht. I'm not living the lifestyles of the rich and famous, at least not financially rich, and that's okay. And it's okay for some people who want to live off $1,000 a month. Okay, great. If that's what you want to live off of, good for you. I say, salud. Really. You understand, Gennaro? Now, Gennaro, my thinking is you're going to want some kind of really special lady when you come over here, or ladies, and you're going to end up with some girl who is not what you expected, and she turns out to rock your world and be the sweetest thing, and she robs you of your heart, and that's it, it's over. Because that's what happens here. All right, let me read some of these messages. Oh my God. There's plenty of, wait a minute. There's plenty of ladies willing to take Gennaro to family court in LA. Yeah, I'm sure of that. Fire dude. Yeah, talking about dental health, I'm looking for prostate health. That too, it's gonna cost you. That brings up another subject. I'm on the testosterone replacement therapy. Now, if I went to the doctor every single time and had the nurse inject it for me, at this point, it would cost me about $40 every time I went to the doctor. That's every 3 weeks. Which you don't think it's that much, right? But guess what? If you do it yourself, it's gonna cost you about $4 every 3 weeks. Well, $8. And then you just go in once in a while and you have everything checked. All right, let me just finish up here, reading this stuff. can't see it on the computer for some reason. My wife pays for the farm village house and her employer pays for our medical insurance. There you go. I pay for food. Monthly experience for the 4 of us cost me $800. Wow, yeah, that's good. I mean, if we were to go live in Suratani, I can tell you my wife would not want to live in the house that is there now, her mother's house. She wouldn't want to live there. We'd have to build a house, which we could do fairly inexpensively. But then the thing is then you're out there. What are you going to do day to day? Are you going to go run down to the mall? No, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be doing it all the time. It's not like now I can just go outside and walk down the street, and if I want, I can walk to the mall. I can take a song towel. I can do whatever I want. In an ideal situation, you would live about a 10-minute motorbike ride away from the beach, in my opinion. You'd be within walking distance of a nice little cafe, and maybe you need to take a motorbike or a taxi to the grocery once a week and get your groceries. But that's for me. Not everybody agrees. All right, let me see something here. Eat celery. Yes, that's the big tip. Don't forget to eat celery. And drink coconut water. That helps too. So many guys here say that daily girls take care of their prostate problems. The videos I've seen, soy 6 is full of poopies. Well, prostate massage on the menu looks tempting. I can massage my own. Ew, but it always leads to more. I can do Thailand for $1,000 a week if I'm lucky. I know several guys who spend that much, and I have spent $150,000 a month when I had more money, which was not the brightest thing to do. But then I had, a wife and 2 kids, and my wife was not working at that time. She had not started work. I didn't want her to because the kids were very young, and so I wanted to make sure she was happy. She had enough money where she didn't have to, really want for much, and that's how it works. 2-week millionaires. Daily massages start to add up at $350 baht an hour. Dude, you're paying too much. Or you can get Scott to be your nurse like I did. I know a girl on Soy 7/1 dressed like a nurse. She can check it. I don't drink. So why did you stop? What? Yeah, listen, Dowlow, the massages here in my area are about 180 baht an hour. So that'll give you an idea. Some places charge 400, 450 for an hour. It's crazy. Prices have gone up. I still remember when it was 100 baht, 80 baht. What do we got going here? Let's see. $150,000, yes. I mean, listen, even now we don't spend, I don't think we spend that much. But when you got a wife and 2 kids, and think about something. You see guys here, they're driving cars. You see houses, they're nice houses. You see they've got 2 cars. How much you think these guys are living off of? $40,000 a month? They're making their house payment? Or somebody just gave them a brand new house and they got 2 brand new cars and somebody gave them those and they're just living off of 30 or 40,000? No. They're probably both working. Maybe the wife is making 30, 40,000 a month. The husband, maybe he's an engineer, he's a doctor, or whatever. He's making 100, 200,000 a month. You want to live good here. And I'm talking about really good. And you want to have some of the things that you have back in the States. Like you want to have a nice vehicle. Ask Patia Bob. Ask him about his Fortuner. You know, and the insurance and everything like that. That adds up. You know, it's not a huge expense, but when you start tallying up everything, then it adds up. Simple as that. Let's see if I can connect this up again. It's supposed to work. I think there was some problem with the internet or YouTube in this area. I think it was the internet. It wasn't the YouTube. The YouTube. We got 70 people watching now. Do me a favor, click a thumbs up if you like what we're discussing here. This is real life Thailand. This is real expat stuff. This is not, oh, I've been living in Thailand for a year now and it's fantastic. My little one bedroom, my little studio place is so awesome. It's the best and I love having my noodles every morning. Okay, and eventually what are you gonna do? You're gonna eat noodles for the next 20 years? You're 35 years old. What are you gonna do? You're gonna eat noodles until you're 70? Good luck with that. I don't wanna live that way. Now, if I had to, could I? Yeah, of course. You make do with what you got. Here you go, another one. I will say this. That when I had to go in for my gallbladder, I was in bad shape, man, and I was like in front of the mall, and I was just in agony. Thank you very much. Yeah, is the thing working? I don't know why. I just about got shut out. If it wasn't for Carnival Chronicles and some of the regulars, you know, I'd never make any money. But, you know, the ambulance came. The guy goes, listen, I'll have an ambulance here in like a minute. And he did. The ambulance came in like a minute, boom. I jumped in the back, or they dragged me in the back. And they sped along, everybody got out of the way, boom. And I expected, you know, like, sir, we'll contact you, we'll give you your bill. Never got a bill. They just took me to the hospital. There was, you know, there was no fee for that. I was shocked. I thought for sure I'd pay at least, you know, 500 baht, 1,000 baht, 2,000 baht. Not a penny. Not a once a time. Money seems to be the big... Listen, everybody likes women, but without money, you got no women. Now, you may have women when you're young. You might have some game. I know this for a fact because I didn't have a ton of money when I was younger. Although as I got a little bit older before I came here, I had more money and disposable income. And I always did fairly well. You know. What is this? How's Jono doing? Well, I saw him, I don't know, a week ago, something like that. And I've been meaning to call him again. I sent him a message yesterday because he gave me this, he had this dish that he couldn't use. It was too big for his oven. He has a small oven. And he said, this thing is too big, I'll never use it, it'll just sit here, take it. I said, okay. And so that's what I put my meatloaf in. And it worked fantastically. But I mean to call him in the next couple of days. I have a couple of questions. I want to ask him a few things. But he's a guy, you know, listen, I think, you know, Jono probably spends, I don't know what it is. I don't remember the exact amount he spends on his apartment, but it's close to $1,000, $1,000 a month. So when you tell me, well, I'm gonna pay $7,000 a month. The reason that we pay $7,000 is because my wife is shrewd and sharp, and she looks around and she finds deals. Now, there is the part of us we want to get out of our house. It's like we've been there a long time. The place is getting old. Things are falling apart. It's all patched together. But you know what? It's been our home for a long time, and we're still hesitant to leave. I don't know what it is. We just, you know, we're cozy there. Eventually we will get out, and like I said, I am gonna, when I come back from the States, I'm going on the prowl. I'm gonna look around. There's 3 or 4 places I'm gonna go. I've got a couple of websites, and I know what to do. You know, you ask the locals, hey, do you know of any apartments, or do you know of any condos or townhouses around here? You know, do you know of any places? And, you know, then you ask, well, is this place expensive? Oh, well, Pang Mang. Okay, well, that's not the place for me. You know. And I think that'll work well. I keep a detailed journey. Okay. Fortuner was 22,000 baht and license plate. Insurance was 22,000. Okay, license plate was 4,672. So that's about 26,000. So that's a little more than 2,000 baht a month. But what about for the vehicle itself? Yeah, the hospital pays the ambulance. That's the thing. When they go in, they just... Houses on the outskirts of Bangkok are very affordable and nice to rent. Yes, definitely. And that is why we don't live down by Sukhumvit Road. We don't live near Sukhumvit Road. However, if I want to get to Sukhumvit Road, I just go to the mall, I jump on a boat, and I'm there. You know, I mean, it'll take 35, 40 minutes to get from the Mall Bangkapi down to, say, Nana. But you can get to, like, Tonglor, you can get there, or Ekamai, whatever, you can get down there in about 25 minutes on the boat. But, you know, the thing is with something like that is you have to factor in the time to get to the mall, to where you get to the boat station, the time to go to you're waiting for the boat, and maybe you just missed it and it doesn't come for another 10 minutes. And then you have to factor in, okay, I'm going to have to get from the boat station to wherever you're going on Sukhumvit or off Sukhumvit, like maybe routes at the Commons, the coffee shop. That's one of the reasons I didn't go anywhere today, is because I just didn't feel like jumping on the boat, and I didn't want to do that. And I don't always want to be taking taxis because they add up. Houses for rent. You know, Gennaro, you could still get a house. You know, it's not going to be a brand new house, and maybe it won't be furnished, but you can get a house here in Bangkok in a decent, halfway decent location, and it's you know, it might cost you 20,000 a month. I mean, but it'd be nice. It's like a 2-story or something. 2,900 for diesel. Do you mean the cost of the? Yeah, the Fortuner. Like if you were to pay the Fortuner, and you know, you put 20% down or 10% down, and you got a monthly fee. I'm just trying to figure out how much does that add. Let's say that it adds 4,000 or 5,000 baht a month. So, you know, if you're living off $1,000 a month, I don't care where you're living. You know, that adds about 15,000 to your expense, 15% rather, to your expenses. Having a home here is really a money pit. The wife's always renovating. My buddy Tom told me that he's been renovating his place. He's like, God, I'm so lucky I don't have to spend money on paint, because I had some paint, some jars, old jars full of paint, and I just used that paint. It was the same color, and I just did that, you know. Yeah, 10 to 40,000. I mean, listen, you can get a place about 10,000. I wouldn't say 4 bedrooms for 10,000 baht. And the bedrooms, maybe at least one of the bedrooms will be the size of a closet. It'll be like for the maid. And I think Gennaro was asking how much for a maid. It depends on what kind of maid you get. We had a maid. We had one maid that was from Laos, and we had another one that was from Myanmar. And we paid, I think, 4,000 baht for one and 5,000 for another. And that was 18, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. kids were very, very young. And so, you know, figure double that now. That's another thing. If you got kids and your wife is working, you're working. Are you going to want to have somebody babysit? There's more money. 500 baht a week. Okay. Yeah, 500, and she comes once a week. She just cleans your place up, right? But your place is fairly clean. I've seen it. It's not filthy. Maybe a little messy at sometimes, I would expect, but it's not filthy. Probably because she comes once a week. More people, you know, some people are slobs. Cleans place, does laundry, and cleans outside. Oh, she does laundry. That's good. Yeah, I mean, we have a washing machine. Hang on. We have a washing machine. Hang on. We got a washing machine, and we just hang things out to dry in the front or the back of the house. Yeah, you see, you pay $5,000 a month, works a few hours a day, cleans all the plants. Ours lived in our place. We had a live-in maid because we had. It was a 4-bedroom office connected to my wife and I's bedroom. And then one of the rooms was for the kids, and one of the rooms was for the maid. And she was, like I said, 4 or 5. We had 2 of them, and they were $4,000 or $5,000 a month. And they didn't have to pay for their food or anything like that. We always made sure they had food. And my wife was home. She was cooking a lot, or she was going to work part-time, and or if she had to go run errands, she didn't want to bring the kids because it was a pain in it. Think about it. You don't want to drag 2 kids along if you don't have to, especially when they're young. And I mean young, I'm talking about a year or 2 old. As they got older, they started going everywhere. I clean my place, cook, wash dishes. When I left my first condo, I cleaned like I had an inspection in the Army. It's ingrained. Yeah. 2Q Asian knows this. But this is the thing about Starbucks. In Starbucks, there's always one person. All they do is clean. So, for example, this poor girl has been cleaning around me for the last 3 hours. She's been cleaning. It's got to be the cleanest outdoor area anywhere. But I feel bad because it's like, what, she can't help with the coffee? She can't do anything else? I don't know why they do it that way, but they do. That's how it is here. Let me see here. What was it here? She was so surprised how clean I left it. As 2Q Asia knows, or 2Q Asian knows, when he would come over, when we'd have a couple guys over for the fights or something like that, she would always make sure there's plenty of food, and she would make sure the place was about as clean as you could get the place. But that doesn't happen very often where I have people coming over. Jono has never been over to my house. He's always welcome to come over. He's never been over because he doesn't like leaving his little bubble. And that's okay, whatever. And we've got kids going in and out of the house, or at least we did for a long time, not so much now, but we had kids going in and the house. One's taking a shower, he's walking around in his underwear, he's got to run to go here and go there. The other one's, complaining that he's hungry, and, my wife's yelling at him to make his own food, or, I just gave you some food, or whatever it is. So our house got a bit crazy, but now I'm the one who cleans. And it's not because I want to. It's because I want it a certain way. She borrows my office, and I say borrow because it's mainly my office. I do things in my office. I set it up to be my office. But okay, I'm not selfish. However, I'll go in there, there's, 2 half-empty bottles of water in there, a coffee cup, a container that held food in it before, a napkin, a crumpled up paper towel, and I'm like, hey, what is this? Let's go. Come on, clean it up. We don't have, and the reason we got rid of the maids, well, one maid, I told the story where she slammed the door because she was pissed off about something, and my wife said, don't do that, it's not good, you can't be doing that. And like 2 weeks later, she did the same thing, so my wife said, she's out of here. The next one, she kind of left because we were at the point where the kids were getting a bit older, they were off to school, and we were kind of like, we don't really need her, but sometimes we do, and we weren't ready to let her go. And then she said she wanted to go, and like, she had a boyfriend back in Myanmar, and she wanted to go back there because he wanted to marry her. We said, listen, can you stay for another week? Yes, okay. And then that was the end of her. And then after that, we were like, listen, nowadays, we don't have a landline in our house, Gennaro. A lot of people don't have landlines anymore. I don't know if that's how it is in the States anymore. But there's no landlines. Oh, you know what? Hang on. She's still cleaning outside. Oh my God. They're like, go outside and clean 14 times. Clean everything. Over and over and over again. Yeah. Well, when I lived alone, I had a maid come over. And in the first place, she came once a week, and it was 500, this is years ago, and it was 500 baht for her to clean the place up. And I didn't have a big place, and I thought it was pretty generous. Then I had a bigger place. I had my place but in between, which I've shown people on the stream here, in between Soi 1 and Soi 3, I had a big place. It was it was the biggest place in the whole complex, and it was only 2 bedrooms and 2 baths, but it had a back door exit, a front door exit, which that came in handy, and then it had a big kitchen. And I had a maid there come in twice a week, so it was 1,000 a week. It was 1,000 baht a week. Yeah, Gennaro, everybody talks about that place. To me, that place was the biggest shithole out of all the places that you can go. That was probably that and Pat Pong are probably the biggest shitholes of all the places that you can go. The little beer bars and the go-go's, but there's no go-go's. Well, that's actually Buckskin Joe's is Soi 0. Soi 1 is across the street. So, just saying. Anyway, let's get back to this budget topic. We got off of that. So, like I said, for 2 weeks, I spent, including coffee out. I really don't think I've eaten out anywhere. I don't usually eat out all that often now because I'm trying to watch what I eat. I'm really trying to be particular about what I put in my body, and that'll work out to almost 16,000 baht, 15,425. So that's with coffee. You go out for a coffee like here. Yeah, almost 16,000, and that's just for me. That's eating Western food. So instead of buying food at the grocery all the time, you could exchange that and go somewhere. You could go to a Coco Ichiban. You pay about 250 baht once you get out of there. You go to a Fuji once in a while. And we're not even talking about if you got a girlfriend and you're taking her out on dates. where you're paying. You got to pay for birthday presents. You got to pay for, little trips. And she's, basically like, oh, I'll pay the song towel. And you're like, okay, I'll pay for the 2,500 baht a night hotel. We're not talking about any of that. Gennaro, thank you very much. I'm glad to see that I actually almost made $20 today. That's very nice. I have been thinking about it lately, and I thought, I always have to remember that if you're on YouTube and you're trying to make a little bit of money, you got to be grateful for whatever you get, but the idea is to prosper and get ahead, and I don't have to be Jake Paul in many ways. I don't have to make millions, but it is nice to make, 20, 30, 50 bucks when you do a stream or when you go somewhere, because it all goes to the bottom line. It ends up helping in the end, and in helping, it puts me in a better mood, first of all, because I don't have to stress about, how can I pay for this, or can I pay for this? And then secondly, I think it helps because there's not many people that stream on a regular basis in Bangkok that I know of that actually know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm not talking about some of the chowder heads out there, but I know there are some out there. And I try not to, I don't want to belittle anybody. There's no reason for it. You're here for the belittling comments. Thank you very much there, Gennaro. But I'm certainly not trying to belittle you. But there are some real chowder heads that come to Thailand, and there are a few things. I talked yesterday with two Western expats, both of whom have been here for about 15 years. And what we came to the same conclusion. If you are an old man and you are here and you are one of these guys who truly believes you're 70 years old and you got some 25-year-old honey who loves you with all her heart, she will never leave you, she will never go with a young, good-looking Thai guy, she's with you because she loves your saggy ass and balls, you're joking, you're kidding yourself, you are lying to yourself. If you're 70 years old and you have some kind of situation like that. And that's, I'm thinking about putting together, I've got a couple of books that are half written, but I've been thinking about putting something together because it wouldn't take me very long, and I've pretty much got everything already. But that's about some of the golden rules. And one of the golden rules to remember, besides the don't get emotionally involved with a bar girl, and the only caveat to that is if you know what you're doing and you know that, there's a chance she may go off the reservation, so to speak. She may go, she may leave you at the drop of a dime. Well, I thought about something today. And listen, I'm not gonna lie. My wife is not some supermodel, and she never was. When I met her, she was slim, had long hair to her ass, she was nice looking, and she was very sweet and very nice to me and very polite, which goes a long way. The politeness in Thailand, the courteousness of the people goes a long way, in my opinion. But what I was going to say is, if you want any kind of a relationship, and by the time I met my wife, I was like, yeah, I could go with a relationship. Go with the girl who's got some brains. Don't go because she's got big tits. Big tits get saggy. The body will fade. Even the best looking, well, Gennaro, I have certain magical tools that I have at my disposal. And I was very polite with her. I was very, very nice and polite and, younger. And I had, and I have my way. I have a certain je ne sais quoi. I don't know. Because she certainly doesn't think I'm good looking now. No way, you were right at the first part of the advice. Don't try to make a girl. Well, the only caveat to that is if you know full well you're going to pay the money and anything can happen, so don't be expected if she does something that is something unbecoming of a girlfriend. I'm sure you know about that. I know about it. For the most part, especially if you're some new guy, that's the golden rule. The other golden rule is go for the girl with the brains. She's got to be attractive to you. You got to see something in her. She's got to have nice legs, or, you know, she's got to have a little twinkle in her eye, you know. Did they call you tripod because you have a few tips? Meet one that was raised by two loving parents. If you date the oldest child, they have way more familiar responsibilities than the younger siblings. I don't know, because my wife is, where was she? She's one of the youngest. I don't remember how many she's got. 6 people, five altogether, 5 brothers and sisters. I think she's the second youngest. But you know, the coming from a strong family is important. If there wasn't, you know, I've told this story before, and I'm going to tell it again, because that's what I do. I'm a storyteller, and at least now I remember the stories that I've told over and over again. Sometimes I forget, but there was a time, and this was, I had been living in Udon Thani, and I had broken up with the girl. I had not yet met my wife. And I was on the way, flying from Udon Thani Airport down to Bangkok. I think it was Don Muang at the time. And, yeah, that's another golden rule. Find an orphan. Because then you probably are not going to be required to pay money. And a lot of these Thai girls from the villages, they still have that traditionalism in them. The families that come from a bit of money and that they are a little more modern, they are not so apt to just say, give me 500,000 baht for my daughter. They may say, you don't have to, or they may say, you know, give us 200 and we'll give you the money back, and or give us 300,000, we'll give you 200 back, and you can have this little piece of land or something like that. They'll work something out. If they're willing to work something out, then you know they're probably a pretty good family. You know, you can kind of tell. It just takes a little sensitivity to your surroundings and your situation and the people that you're with. But anyway, yeah, that's a golden rule. If you can find one that's an orphan, that tends to work pretty well. Anyway, I'm in the airport, and I see this girl. And I look over and I say, wow, she's cute. Cute girl. And I kind of, you know, look, you know, it was one of those things where you're looking, and you know, she was, yeah, at the time I was very, you know, a lot younger. It was just almost 30 years ago. And she's sitting there, that little twinkle in her eye, and I saw her, and I went, oh man, she's cute. Somehow I managed to strike up a conversation with her. I got a number from her. I said, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to work with my sister. She works in this factory. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I go back to Bangkok. Eventually I called her up, and she was, oh, I'm on my way back home to Udon Thani. I said, oh, well, that's funny, because I'm on my way back to Udon Thani too. I go out with her. I meet up with her. And I don't know, I think it was maybe the second time that we were together. like the first time we just met and had food, and then it was like, oh, I gotta go, and I said, okay, I'll later. And then the next time she spent the night. So, I kind of knew something wasn't right. I had a feeling. And then she admitted to me she was living in Pattaya. I said, what are you doing there? You working in a factory? No, I'm not, Okay. But I still was like, all right, she seems all right. Listen, I have my fun. And eventually, it came down to, guess what? Money. And she said to me, why don't you come over? No, you don't let them move in, because getting them out is the hard part. Getting them to move in is easy. Getting them to leave is more difficult and more costly. Anyway, she said, why don't you come over? We're having a little party at my parents' house. I said, okay. I get to the place. Now, some of you may remember this. Forgive me, but I have told this before. I get to the house, and it's a traditional Thai house. Got the little platform underneath the house. It's up on stilts. However, this house was not like most Thai houses in that it had 4 walls. One of the walls was missing. Another part of the wall was just broken. It was jagged. The wood was not. It had been like something happened and the wood had all rotted out, and there was only 2.5 sides of the house. And the floor, part of the floor was missing. And then over to the side, I saw a bunch of wood, and she said, I bought all that wood. I bought all the wood. I said, really? Yeah. If you can help me, I'll be with you. I'll stay with you. You got to help me, though. You got to help me to finish building the house for my mother and father. And I was like, no, not going to happen, honey. She said, okay. And, we were very matter of fact about it. It was actually she was a really nice girl, but she just felt obligated. Her sister, on the other hand, was not so nice. As the party went on, people started getting drunk. Her father was completely inebriated. Her mother was, one of these like old women who's a cackling old woman, drunk off her head. They're all smashed. And her sister comes up to me, barely able to walk, barely able to talk, and offers me, I'm just going to say, she offered me a Humvee, if you know what I mean. And I said, wait a minute, I'm seeing your sister. Honey, come on. Don't worry, my sister won't care. You give me, I don't know what it was, but you give me 1,000 baht, no problem. And I thought, well, this girl may be a nice girl. However, I saw the family dynamic. I saw where they lived, how they lived. I saw how they acted when they got drunk. I saw, firsthand, and I heard what the sister said to me. It was her older sister. And she was not what you would consider nearly as good looking as the one that I was with. And I just thought to myself, what the hell's going on here? How could I ever, do I want to ingratiate myself, integrate myself into this family? Hell no. Boom. Time to move on. Now, it's not always easy. And, while now, my wife and I have been together for, 23 years. In the very beginning, it was not so easy because, we had to get past the family. But she just said, listen, I'm going to talk to my mother. That's it. Don't worry about it. I'll handle it. Okay. Now, her mother could have said, no, I don't want you to be with this guy. She probably would have said, okay, can't do it. But that's not what happened. And then the rest is history. Another Starbucks employee. Unfortunately, beer is not here. I don't know why. She must only work 2-3 days a week. I don't know, but she's never here. Anytime I come here, she's only been here like twice out of the 6 times I've been here. So I don't know what's the deal. So anyway, and for some guys, and I know guys, I know a Swedish guy, I know a Norwegian guy. These guys, they don't mind. They got plenty of money. And by plenty, I mean, maybe they're making $500,000 a year. So if they got to shell out 10 grand for some chick to make her happy, and then every once in a while they give her a little bonus, so to speak, they don't mind doing it. They'll do it. To each his own. You can't tell somebody what to do with their money. I mean, that's just crazy. It's their money. Let them do whatever they want with it. However, it does seem to me that there are far too many guys, even nowadays. But think about when I first came to Thailand, how things were. The internet was nowhere near as developed as it is now. Finding some people that would talk to you about Thailand and that really were in the know. The number of people was limited. The number of go-to places was extremely limited. Like I said, my first book was the Let's Go Thailand, and also the like 20 places, the 20 best places in the world to party, and those were my guides. And then I had my friend Ted, who will be on the stream at some point in the next, I don't know, month or two. And I had the Thai fighters and my instructor who told me about Thailand, and also the Dutch who told me a little. So I pieced together some things. But imagine then compared to now. Now, anybody wants to know anything, they ought to be able to learn it right from the internet. Whether it be from somebody like me, whether it is from a forum, whether it's from reading books or whatever, there is plenty of information out there. There should be no guys that buy into this, oh my God, we slept together last night. And I know she works at the massage parlor, but she said I was the first guy that she's ever been with, and she's such a sweet girl. I think I'm going to marry her. There are still guys out there that believe in this and that do this. Which is why there are numerous rules. I have not yet to begin to count them, but I have many rules. And many of those rules pertain to interactions with the opposite sex. And if you're Chucky, I guess it would relate to the same sex. So Chucky has his own rule, and his rule is don't hook up with someone that you have to take care of, because then basically you've just added a child into your life. Oh, Gennaro, listen, back around the 2000, even a couple years before there, many Thai girls had phones, and the phone I had was a Motorola, like the brick. It wasn't the biggest one, but it was just like a basic phone, very difficult to text. It was like, black kind of gray phone with yellow numbers and letters, and that was the phone that I had. So when I went to Thailand, after about 3 or 4 trips, I noticed, hey, these girls all got phones. And it just kept increasing. And finally I went, man, I got to get one of these. I need to get one of these phones. And in the beginning I had the dual SIM kind of thing. They had those. Or I had 2 phones. But I just would always get a cheaper phone because I couldn't really afford a real expensive one. And then I just, you just start figuring stuff out, and then they started figuring stuff out, and now, I mean, from what I hear, there's a lot more women here who, if they're on the game online. Yeah, I had mine right around that time, and it was, you have to sign a contract, you get the phone for next to nothing, but you had to spend a certain amount, and you only got a certain number of minutes, and You know, it wasn't a smartphone. Everybody here, damn near everybody has Line on their phones, even the foreigners. Even tourists come here and learn about it. They need it. Usually I pay my electric bill on my phone. This month I won't, because they only allow you to put 5,000 baht on as a foreigner. So my bill is 5,400 baht, and it won't allow you to pay like 5,000 and put 400 baht more on and pay for 400. And I pay my water bill with my Line account. What else do I pay? Well, I pay for my phone, for my 4G service. Well, it's really started to change the game since the pandemic. But yeah, it did change the game back in the day because people could walk around with a phone. Yeah, I mean, by the time it hit 2000, I mean, I got with the program and I was like, hey, maybe it was 1998, something like that. I realized, you know, and one of the things, if you remember, if you've been coming here for a while, you remember that if you were staying even in an apartment, but if you're staying in a hotel, you used to either have to like dial 9 to go out, and it was like a rotary phone, or you would have to dial the operator and say, I want to call this number, and then they would put you through to the number, and they charge you like 5 baht a minute. It was crazy. So, you know, that was how it was back then. And then, you know, you would, if you were going to get a phone call, back in 95, I had a beeper. And I think I even had a beeper in Thailand. But if you had a girl like going to call you, you basically had to hope that you could get the person at your apartment or wherever to like just take a message and say so-and-so called, you know, little Noak called, or whoever it is, you know, whatever her name is. Jit, Jung, Jong, Corn, whatever, you know, whatever it was. And then maybe you'd get a message, and you would get like a flashing light on your rotary phone, and you would call and go, do I have a message? Yes, sir, you have a message. And then they would tell you the message. One of the first places I stayed when I first came here was the Nana Hotel. And man, imagine it 30 years ago. It was like Therme back 30 years ago. It was like going into the Star Wars bar. You know? There was always something entertaining going on. Oh yeah. Yeah, you could get certain, if you use the phone from this time to that time, you know, you didn't get the deal that you would get if you called after like 7 o'clock or something like that. We've come a long way, baby. But the air is still dirty here. I can smell it right now. Not so good. I have noticed lately, yeah, my lungs, my throat, I've noticed the dirty air here. That's not a good thing. And I can only imagine over the course of, say, 25 years, what it'll do to younger people growing up in places where the air is so bad. Positives and negatives, baby. There's always pluses and minuses, good and bad, you know, all that stuff. Two sides to every story. And, you if I wanted, I could say nothing but good things about Thailand. I think that is withholding the truth, though, the entire truth. That's the way I look at it. We haven't heard much from Mr. Paradise lately. I don't know, what's going on with him. Thailand is paradise, man. When will you admit it, Scott? Never. There are areas that are paradise. If you've lived here for a long time and you talk to somebody back in the States who's never been really anywhere or never been to Thailand, there are a lot of people that won't believe what you tell them. If you tell, not only about women, but many other things. I saw this guy, he's like riding with his wife and his grandmother and their baby and their propane gas tank on the back with a crate of chickens on top of it. Every once in a while I'll get a Grab taxi. Oh God. Dowlow, just admit it. It's all right. It's okay. We're not here to judge you. It's okay if you partake in the forbidden herb. I don't. And for the life of me, I know when I was young, I liked it. I thought it was great. Nowadays, though, I don't know what it is. It doesn't, and even booze. Look at how much I drink. Come on. I'll have a drink once in a great while, but for the most part, last time I drank was when I went out with my wife. She got hammered and I was fine, and I had like 5 shots of tequila. Yeah. I don't need it I don't need it. It doesn't make me sleep. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, I'm so much better now. Doesn't do anything. And even the edibles. I thought the edibles would be the answer. There's no answer. They don't do anything for me. And it's just me. So, I understand other people, and if you're medically, you need it and all that. And that, I think it's a good thing that they finally legalized it. Because, first of all, and the United States is horrible. This privatization of prisons in the United States, I think, is terrible. And the reason is because it's all about making a buck. It's not about people that really deserve to be imprisoned. And somebody who has a couple of joints on them doesn't need to go to prison for 2 years or whatever it might be. It's just ridiculous. They don't need to be put to death and, all these things. I just don't believe that. So for me, I think it's a good thing here because it lessens the prison overcrowding, which they have a serious problem with that here. To each his own. It's good. It made you feel good, feel better. That's how I look at it. And also, the other thing is that, I know I look back and in the past here, but I also look back in my own life back in the States. It's very hard for me to understand the whole incel thing going on now, but it's also equally hard when I used to get, an ounce of some Colombian gold for $25. Well, here comes the demonetization of the stream. I got to figure out Rumble. By the way, I do have a channel. I will release that at some point. And I can get a little more free. I don't know if you can stream on Rumble, though. Does anybody know? Can you stream on Rumble? That would be good. And I am very excited about, Mark, the guy who was captured by the Taliban, came in the other day into the stream, Sunday. I'm excited about talking to him again because I did speak to him already a couple of times, but I'm excited to to do what we're going to do, which is, basically go through an interview, and that should be out. And I'm going to talk to him this weekend and do the interview this weekend, and it should go up within a week after that. So I'm happy about that, because, he's a guy that was on the verge of coming over here, and he didn't. He decided to go left instead of go right, and guess what happened? So, that should be kind of cool. Anyway, what are you gonna do, Well, it's good if all you guys want to come here, even though, the minister, you can stream on Rumble. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. How you doing? I think it's good for people if they're into that thing. I think it's fine. I do think they need to make they need to make sure they got some solid laws in place about what can and cannot be done. And they're never going to do that. Or at least I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I'm hesitant to say never, because you never say never. But you know how Thailand works. If you know anything about it, it's today we're going to crack down on this, and then there's a crackdown for about 3 minutes, and then things go right back to how it was. In some cases, things change, but it's still kind of like, don't say anything, everything's cool. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't see them repealing any law. I don't see them shutting down all the shops. I don't see that happening. I don't care who's in power. Now, anything can happen, but I just don't see that happening. So all you pot smokers, be happy. All right, Michael, take it easy. It's about time to wrap her up here. I don't have to go grocery shopping today, so I have a little bit extra time. I may actually speak to Jono, I don't know, but I don't have to do any grocery shopping today. I'm all caught up. Actually, oh no, I just can go to 7-Eleven. See? I'll go to 7-Eleven on my way home. I got to get some milk. And I'm not drinking it. It's for Alex. Other than that, I don't need to stop off and get coffee anywhere. I did think about going to that Cafe Amazon that I went to around the corner here and streaming from there, but I want to find some places with a little character, Could there be an evening live stream? You mean after your wife has gone to sleep and you've already inhaled lots of toxic, polluted fumes? Is that what you're talking about? I've thought about that for a long time, and I do think it's a good idea. I got to figure it out. There's some things I want to do. The Therme evening stream. Yeah, I won't be streaming from Therme, I can tell you that right now. I won't go to any bars, any clubs. Maybe you're joking, but even though it's technically a coffee shop, I won't be going to any of those places. Gennaro, if you knew me 30 years ago, you would think I'm completely different. Because I could not care any less about going to a bar or going into the bars and showing the bars, or, oh, can I show, even if I had the bar owner's consent. I don't want to be around those people in the bar. And I mean drunk foreigners, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes the foreigners can be the problem in clubs and stuff like that. And that's not the reason why, but the main reason why. It's one of the reasons why. The other reason is because they don't generally want you filming in there or anything like that. But also because I don't want to be in a place where, what am I going to do there? I'm going to drink a beer? So in other words, Dowlow, you're too lazy to come out and meet me halfway or come out to my neck of the woods. Your wife won't let you. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I gotta see how I can get there and how long it would take me to get out there and all that stuff, because it's a bit of a haul. But you got 2 weeks, so we'll figure something out. That is, I won't go out there and stream out there unless I'm meeting up with you. You know, then it gives me a reason to go, all right, I get to go meet up with you. And that's, you know. Rule number 7,853. You are the man. That does not mean you need to be chauvinistic, misogynistic, or anything like that. It means that you need to lay down some boundaries and stick to them. And I'm not telling you how to live your life with your wife, and you may be joking, I don't know. But it is a rule in my book that you need to be able to say, I'm going. You know, you need to be able to say, I'm going, and I'm not asking your permission, I'm telling you. Now, you want to keep things right in the house, so you have to do that carefully. You need to thread that needle. But that is a rule, be the man. And that means when your wife asks you, or your girlfriend asks you, or your significant other, whatever sex they may be, Chucky, or whoever else, if they ask you, where do you want to go eat? If you say to them, where do you want to go eat? And she goes, up to you, make the friggin' decision. And if they don't like it, tell them, shut up. Bo doesn't wear the pants in my family, pal. I can guarantee you she don't wear the pants in the family. The thing is that I'm very respectful of her and her wishes, and I'm also reasonable. You know. I mean, that's about as succinctly as I can put it. She does not wear the pants. Certain things, I listen to her because I know she is, what do they say? You know, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. And sometimes it's just simply because I agree. And I know she's not one of these people who says, oh my God, you're going to the mall again. I know it's because you're doing this and this and this and this, and we're far past that, you know. We're far, far past that. Actually, it's funny you bring that up, the elephant pants, because I've seen a lot more people wearing them lately. And she actually bought a half a dozen of them to bring to Spain to give them as gifts to people because they are back in fashion. Well, listen. I don't always wear pants, period. And by the way, in case you don't know, rule number 28,432, even though the Thai law says it's against the law to go commando once in a while, live a little. And I'm serious, that is a law. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever been prosecuted for it, but, you know. And there is such a thing as happy wife, happy life. However, I also believe there is a caveat to that. As long as I'm happy. If it's something that makes me extremely unhappy, but she's happy, then generally, no, it isn't going to work. I'm not going to, listen, I understand why Jim goes and travels around with his wife. I think it's nice that he does that. You know, he's a nice guy. He does that. I've already done that. I've been there myself, and I've done those kind of things. Nowadays, my wife and I would rather travel alone than with other people. Wife equals pain and strife. Oh, Gennaro. I would say, in the case of American women, that might be true. Or women living in America. Yes, that is free balling. It means, ew. Yes. But if you are gonna do that, I gotta plug this just because I can. Use the code Malin20. Either get yourself some nice Manscaped underwear, or go commando, free ball it, however you want to call it. Just make sure that you wear your ball deodorant. You can pick some up at Manscaped. Use the code Malin20. I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. It looks pretty much the same as when I got here. Lots of Grab drivers here. It is a nice day out. There you go, Dowlow. It's the truth. Thai people don't like to hear others whistling either, because they think it summons up spirits, the ghosts. Which I admit it, I laugh at my wife if she talks about ghosts. I laugh and I just go, when I see a ghost, I'll start believing in ghosts. But I've never seen one, so I don't believe in them. And that's me. You know, you can believe in whatever you want. And so can she. I mean, I don't, give her a hard time about that, but I just go, I'm not scared. I ain't scared of no ghost. Why would I be? You know? Aside from the smog here and the noise, you hear there's noise pollution, air pollution. It's a nice day. Now, I also had planned to go to Happy Land because there is a rooftop available now, a rooftop area where you can go and hang out. However, I decided to check it out because I thought, oh, maybe I'll get a coffee and I'll go upstairs and I'll sit outside and but you can't see anything from the roof because they have these walls up that they make so that nobody can jump, I guess. And basically all they did was store a bunch of junk up on the roof. And I'm like, why do they say they have a rooftop area if there's nothing up there? So there won't be any Malin in the morning having coffee there. I thought about calling a stream the other day, the Mega Malin Morning. Mega Morning Malin. Malin Mega Morning. I thought about something like that, but I decided against it. Anyway. Such is life. Expat budget. You want to live on the cheap? That's a good thing about Thailand. You can. You can live inexpensively here. If you have to live on the cheap, you can. I know it. I've done it. I've lived off of dirt, just next to nothing. And what do you mean plans? Gennaro, there's something like, I don't remember. I put it up on my website and before I had a little issue with the website, but the electric buses, it's already in the works, man. It's been in the works. There's a couple of hundred. I think it was something like 240. No, it's like more like 314 or 414, something like that. There's already numerous electric boats. So, they're trying to get it together here. I don't know. Maybe, to me, it seems like it's quite slow. They're getting it together. Like the air pollution is a big thing. They need to figure something out. And dropping water in the air is not gonna solve the problem. As far as the 45-day thing, I haven't heard anything about them extending it. So until they say it's extended, you might as well just count on it ending on I believe it ends at the end of this month. But they could 2-3 days before March 31st, they could say, all right, we're extending it. Boom, it's that simple as that. So, you know, that's the way they roll here. Yeah, I see guys going on their little electric scooters, you know, the ones that you basically stand on and they, you know, you're like this. I see guys riding those things all the time now. Bob, if you're still listening, don't you have an electric, what happened with the electric car? Bob was going to get himself an electric car, and he decided to get something else. It was an electric vehicle. But he opted for something different than he originally had planned. Yeah, I would just wait until they say one way or the other, but you know, you never. That is something that takes a little getting used to. But you know, anybody who knows governments know that governments are completely full of shit most of the time. Governments act like they've got it all together, but they don't. They act like they know what they're doing, and most of the time they don't. And here in Thailand, they don't apologize. Well, you know, that's another thing. Their Carnivore Chronicles, Carnivore Chronicles. That's a tongue twister for me. Carnivore Chronicles. Because those batteries, the batteries for the boats are quite expensive. They're quite expensive. And not everybody knows how to fix those things when they have issues. So, you know. Oh, you are going to get the electric car. It's supposed to arrive later this month. There you go, Gennaro. Another barista for you. I have to brag. I'm starting to see in the top of my belly area, I'm starting to see a 4-pack again. It hasn't extended all the way down to the lower portion of my stomach. But I do have the little 4-pack going on. Now I gotta work on that lower belly area and lose a little more weight, and hopefully that will come back. I feel pretty damn good about it. I might start doing something like, you know, foo-foo-ish, which is like doing yoga or something. I don't know about that though. Listen, great place down in the south of Thailand. I went there, and you guys, most of you guys know this, is the, holy shit. It's a hell of a lot of money. They could do so much more with, you know, spending it elsewhere, but great place down in the south is Koh Chang. I don't know about Koh Payam, but that was a great place that I went down there. I really liked it. I don't know how it's changed in the last 7-8 years since I've been there, whatever it was. But I remember going down there for a week. It cost me 5,000 baht, including the hotel, transportation back and forth, the boat to get back and forth to the island. It was fantastic. And it's quite a bit different than the other Koh Chang, which is the popular one to the east. But yeah, I would recommend that place. That's a good place. Somebody asked about the best beach in Thailand. Very hard for me to say. Because first of all, I haven't been to all the beaches. Second of all, I don't remember them all. And fourth of all, I know that there were some areas, I mean, in Koh Chang, if you watch the video about me going there, it should be up still. And I'm talking about the Koh Chang in the south, not to the east, because I got videos for both places. I went walking around with the German guy. I think his name was Hans. He was like 80 years old or something. Great, friendly guy, you know, but pretty healthy for his age. And we went walking around, and we took a wrong turn. We saw this, I forget what the name of the little place was, but it was like a little hideaway lounge or whatever, you know, little hideaway bar. And we went walking towards it, and then we realized, oh, there's nothing here. This place is like long ago shut down. And we saw just off in the distance through the bush, we saw some signs of a beach and the ocean. We heard it. So we kept walking, and we broke out through the brush, and there was this beautiful beach. Golden sand, and I mean no footprints, no nothing. It was absolutely beautiful. And we're both standing there going, look at this, man. And that, to me, is more beautiful than any little tourist area that has a great beach or anything like that. I'll take that any day. I'll take those little hidden coves. And I heard about one yesterday, and I'm always looking for these places. So, but that may be a couple of months. Like I said, when I come back from, it's in one of the areas that I want to check out. But that's probably going to be July, August. I can't believe now I'm starting to plan things a year out now. It has to do with, you know, the family, and like I've been saying, some people may not understand it, especially these single folks. But logistically, sometimes it can get quite difficult to arrange things with everybody. I mean, even when I went to Chiang Mai, which I've been meaning to put the videos up, but you know, I went to Chiang Mai with my wife and with Steve and his wife. And even that, getting everything squared away with that was logistically more difficult than if it was, listen, it's just me, I'm going to throw on a backpack and I'm out of here, you know. Well, that's why I want to get away. I want to go find another place to plant my self-enclosed bubble. I want my little bubble where nobody bothers me. I have everything I need. You know. I have it right now. I have my own self-enclosed bubble right now. But that bubble has been permeated with noxious fumes from the dirty air in Thailand. They gotta fix it, man. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe I'll do a little research on that. I'd like to know, how can they fix this? You know, they're not gonna go electric 100%. That's not gonna happen. You know, the good thing over here is that they have the macro right there. If I need to go in, if I need something, I could get the milk right here and carry it home. Or I could just stop at 7-Eleven, but it's great that they got it there. Yeah, well, there really is not that much left already. I can tell you that. Unless you want to go to the African continent, you want to go into some of the countries there, and who knows about those places. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know how safe it is. It's an adventure. Life is an adventure. But there's a lot of places that, and Thailand is one of them. There's really very few places that you can go where you're not going to run into, you're going to run into some Thais almost everywhere. But even foreigners, that's becoming more and more difficult, because if you find a place you want to go, for instance, you want to go to that temple that I went to where you walk around the side of the mountain. I didn't see very many foreigners at that time. Now, it was a different time. It was during the pandemic. But I don't think I saw any foreigners there. Maybe I saw one or two at most. I'm sure there are some now. But even that place, you're going to see people. It's not like you're going to get away and, I mean, you know, you're not going into the jungles of the Congo, or, you know, I mean, it's just not, most people are not living that way, nor do they want to, and yeah, it's a shame that the one thing that I worry about with Thailand, I do worry about it, not for me, but I worry about it for Thai people, is this constant need to have tourists They rely on tourism so much. Look at how they were during the pandemic. They were crying. They needed people desperately. They tried everything they could for the most part. And then some foreigners would say, and I agree in some instances, that they didn't really get any respect like they thought they should. Now, I don't think that you got to kiss anybody's ass here if you're Thai or, you know, and nor in the United States or anywhere else just because someone's coming. But I do think there's some modicum of decency that needs to be remembered. And I think in some ways, you know, the Thais are asking for people to come, and yet their health minister is saying that the reason that everything is the way it is because of the filthy foreigners. That doesn't inspire confidence in me. And it doesn't seem like Laos is going to change anytime soon. If they do, it's going to be because of the Chinese. Cambodia is already changing and has changed quite a bit, and it's because of the Chinese and because over time they have managed to rebuild. And back in the day, and I'm talking about in the 50s and 60s, before everything went on in Cambodia, it was a pretty happening place, at least in Phnom Penh. Well, there you go, Gennaro. And you know, this is why I really have a problem with people. I'm not going to say YouTubers, but people in general who they get pissed off if you say anything negative about Thailand, or if you do anything on a video that has anything remotely negative in it, they don't want to watch it. It's not me. I want to be real. I want to be, you know, it's just me. I just wear everything on my sleeve, man. And you know, when I walk down the streets and I see some of the things that I see on the road, I'm like, where does this come from? And then, yeah, I mean, you're in a taxi. I don't get very many aggressive taxi drivers to me or tuk-tuk drivers with me. I don't really have aggressive motorbike. That doesn't happen very often. But then I speak Thai, and I, you know, say what you will, despite any transgressions I may have had in the past. But over the years, I have learned a little bit about problem resolution and how to deal with Thais and how to diffuse situations. And I think that's something else. That ought to be a rule. Because I have nothing to prove. You know, I really have nothing to prove. First of all, I'm older. I don't want to try to prove anything. Second of all, I know if I have to, at least 50-50 I'll come out okay. Or maybe I'll get shot. You know, I mean, you never know. But I have nothing to prove. I don't need to prove anything over 20 baht or 50 baht. It's nothing is that important. And I think that's one of the things that people need to remember is your life really worth losing over 50 baht because you made some guy so angry because he feels like you are slighting him, you are cheating him, that you need to get into a physical confrontation with the guy? No. You know, the only reason I hit that one taxi driver is because he smacked me. I didn't do anything. I didn't even speak disrespectfully to him. I asked him, why are you not going the way I told you? You know, so sometimes, and especially now, you know, as I have gotten older and as you have responsibilities and you learn that you lose the right to be able to get thrown in jail when you have other people depending on you. Because you figure this guy's not going to get away with it. I've got this ego, but I'm going to have to show this guy and I'm going to pummel him. It doesn't work. And, you know, for every guy that maybe if you say, oh, I'm a big guy, I'll take it on, I don't care. Yeah, okay, maybe you will. But maybe some little guy will end up choking you out or beating you half to death or shooting you. And so really, when it comes down to it, don't get yourself in any shady land deals or anything like that. And for the most part, and speak respectfully to the people and you won't have any problems. You're not going to have a problem with the taxi driver. And they may get angry. They may go, listen, I've had guys at hotels. I've walked by the hotel, and I'm looking for a taxi, and they're like, hey, and I just go, no, thank you, and I just keep walking. And if they keep yelling at me, I just ignore them. Now I've learned, it's happened enough. Just don't say anything. I don't have to say, F you, screw you. I don't have to do all that anymore. I don't feel that need. Unless somebody's on a song towel grabbing my gimbal, then I feel the need to stand up for myself. But, even that, like, would I have pummeled that guy? I could have. He was right in the right range. I could have bashed him. But, you learn over time. That's not the way that you deal with things. I'd much rather deal with things in a positive way and you get along with somebody. There are guys that I don't like that I see all the time in the mall and in other places. And I've thought to myself, what if? And then I just go, you know what? Who knows? Maybe the one time I talked to that guy, he had a bad day. So, generally, if you smile here, the people will smile. It may not be for the same reason that you think, but they may smile, and then that's the end of the situation. So, anyway, with that, I should wrap it up. We've been streaming for a long time. Streams are getting longer again. Anyway, I hope you gathered something from this stream, one way or the other, whether it had to do with the budget or how to deal with situations or what happens with guys and women, whatever it may be. The usual things here in Thailand. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, do me a favor, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done that already. Visit my website. Everything's in the description. And I think all I got to say is thank you. That is all. I'm not going to Happy Land. I'm probably just going to take a motorbike all the way home. I have no reason to stop in Happy Land. What am I going to do? Get a coffee? I've already had a coffee this morning. I've had another coffee at Starbucks. I can have a coffee at home after my meal today. But I don't need to stop at Happy Land. I know you guys are dying to see, what is it? Happy Street and the Coconut Girl. There is a Coconut Girl there. I could actually jump in a taxi and go there if you want, but I'm not going to get any coconut because I'm not eating that. I got nothing better to do right at the moment except put my stuff away. So if you want, I'll jump on a motorbike or jump in a taxi. I'll go over there. Plenty of taxis here. Plenty of motorbikes here. All right. Let me get this done. I know it cost everybody a super chat. Whatever. You know what, Gennaro? The guys who are good, and you're one of them, they know who they are. They're very generous, and I appreciate that. That's what I'll say. Let me just get this stuff put away and we'll figure something out. Keep it on the We're gonna go on a motorbike. You know why? Because it's more fun. There'll be some wind, but Hang on a second, I gotta see if my thing is charged up here. In the morning live stream in the Pexa Starbucks. Well, are you saying you will go to Starbucks then? If that's the case, I'll figure something out and go before you leave. All right, you know what? Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna get a Grab, but I gotta do it on my phone. Oh, there's a motorbike guy right there. Shit. I don't want to walk down the street because it's a couple of blocks. All right, I'm back here. I think I'll have a Grab coming any minute. So I'm gonna go walk out here. Just gonna leave the water here. Just like that, baby. I love it. Cup 'em.
ไข่หมูไหมครับ
ไม่เป็นไร ไม่เป็นไร
เรื่องว่าบ้างครับพี่
ครับผม ก็ Happy Land นะ
แฮปปี้แลนด์
ไม่ต้อง U-turn นะ
ครับได้ครับ
It's a little tricky getting out here. The good thing is you put your hand up and usually they stop. Okay. Oh, this guy's not stopping right here. And we're off. If you guys saw that, the yellow and white train. Wow, it's the first time I saw that being tested. นี่เป็นรถไฟฟ้าใช่ไหม
ใช่ครับ
Station. Saw what? I know nothing. So this portion of the SkyTrain's already done. They just got to get all this stuff in the middle out, get the road back in action, and they're good to go. You can see all this is done. Oh shit. Where we went to have dinner with my family, my mother and my sister and everybody, my wife. That place is gone now. They've knocked it down. Oh, thank you, Gennaro. Yeah, a little hard to see. Choke me. All right, check this out. Just about done. All this is almost done. So they're making the overpass right now, and then the overpass is going to connect into the mall and also continue going straight. There's the mall, Kawana. Holding on for dear life here. So they put the concrete slab up. You just got to finish it. There's Happy Land. Tight squeeze here. What's in your garage? Okay, cup. Cup kuma cup. Choke the cup. That was a little bit difficult. with the thing on my shoulder and holding this tripod. Go this way. So you can see they've done a lot. They got the concrete up now. So that's going to be the walkway and the overpass, the flyover. This lady right here to the left, this little booth has all kinds of colognes right there. It smells like so good here. Lady has all kinds of colognes there. They have like little bottles that you can bring on a plane or whatever. Like they're 1 ounce. But it smells so good because they got a bread place behind me.
All right, so let me see this here. Did I get it, Gennaro? Yes, I did get it. Thank you. Hopefully there'll be a mount on the morning press. Okay, so we're caught up. I did get it. It was a little bit ago. Well, I don't think it's going to look anything like Detroit once that SkyTrain is finished. They started working on this place. This is Enmark Plaza, Happy Land, which is, the Happy Land's like a lower end. This little mall is lower end. They may be trying to kick it up a notch, but let's see if I go over this way. Let me just go this way. Be all right. So here we go. Let's see. Let's see if you can see your coconut girl. Happy Street Coconut Girl version 5. Yeah, what's going on with Monash? I haven't heard from him in a long time. Okay, I'm going to take a little stroll over here. And you will see there is a new coconut lady. It's the same woman who sells the lottery tickets is the coconut lady. So honestly, I think that she what is the owner of that coconut stall and just had the girl working for her or whatever. So here we are, Happy Street, happy. All right, we're gonna go inside and you'll see they've fixed it up a little bit, but we're gonna go upstairs. Go up on the little elevator they have. I guess we could go this way first, though. Go through the food court that I don't eat at anymore. At least not very often. Okay. Okay. How can you be too busy for YouTube if you're working and living? How is that possible? We're gonna go this way. All right, so we get to a place where I can sit down. If you look, there's some 50-baht clothes. You want to make money, you come here, you buy the 59-baht clothes, you buy the 29-baht clothes, you buy the 25-baht clothes, turn around and sell them for $5 in America. Got to sell volume though. So this is the old coffee shop, which I don't go there really anymore. And we'll go this way and then we'll go to the lift. I knew that was coming. I knew all eyes would be straight ahead. I knew that was coming. Oh. All these places here are massage places in the back. You can get massages in all these places. Okay, let's take a little ride. Okay, Dalo, I'll let you know. No worries, I'll check it out when I get home. See what my route is. All right, this is the fourth floor. This is the rooftop area. I just laugh when I come here. It's like they're promoting this rooftop area, and maybe at night it gets quite busy. You know, these tables over here. But how are you going to see anything? You can't see over these. So they got these tables here, so maybe they serve beer and everything from these places, and you know, I guess you can see a little bit from over here, but it's not exactly what I'd call a wonderful view. You basically see Happy Land Sai Song. This is Happy Land Sai 2. You see, I can't really walk to the edge here. That's it. And down below is where all the song towels are. I'm surprised one of these security guards hasn't followed me up here to see what I'm doing. Oh, now closed. Sorry. Just gonna go over here. I mean, they have a lot of space here. I don't know, you know, like how sturdy the roofs are. You can't really see anything from here, though. Yeah, can't really see anything from anywhere. Wow, what a fantastic view. So there is some potential here, and you can see across the way the top of the mall, the water park there. I used to be able to go into the water park. It was free. My kids would go. It was free. It was free for everybody. Not anymore. Oh, come on. What? Somebody beat me to it? I don't want to accidentally, you know, like open this door and fall out. Here we go. You can see off in the distance just how hazy it is. Look at the difference. I don't know if it comes through in the... Oh, come on, man. What, am I stuck here? Here we go. All right, thank you. And these things, I kind of worry. This is like the Walmart of shopping centers. We should turn around. Getting ready to go down. Gambling long. Somebody's coming in. Security guard. That's your tour of Happy Land. Now, remember out here there used to be a Happy Land Market. Happy Land Market has been knocked down and they were going to build condos, but apparently they can't build the condos now for some reason, permits or something. Somebody hasn't paid money. Swati cop. So what they're doing is they're growing some, I don't know what they're growing, but they're growing something. So they're putting it off as agricultural land instead of a commercial property, so that they don't have to pay the government so much right now. $30 for these shoes. Wow. Wish I could find a pair like that. High quality. All right, we're gonna just take a quick little walk out here and then we'll say our goodbyes. $30,950 for 1 baht of gold now. When I got here, it was 4,800 baht. Got nowhere to sit. You can stand. Oh. This guy takes off. Welcome to Happy Street. It's been a while since we've been here. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right, guys. It's been a long stream. I would say this is a pretty good example of a middle class, blue collar, working class area of Bangkok. You get away from this little shopping center. There are some nice areas. You go down Nawamin Road. You go past the little park that's up ahead, and the Tesco Lotus where I crashed my drone. There's some nice areas. There's a couple nice areas over there. Some nice houses. Anyway, I guess it's time to say thank you. That is all. It's been a long time, but we came over here. We came, we saw, we conquered. There's Happy Land Center. You can see. We're sitting on Happy Land Street. Chokdi, Leo Jerk and Mai. Yes, Mr. Gennaro. Chokdi. I'm gonna sit on this wooden one before I fall through and I get a different angle. That's plastic, that thing right there. Oh, I'm gonna chill for a few minutes before I go home. Gotta get some milk. And over there to the left there, on the left side of the screen, Coconut Lady. A new Coconut Lady. And then there's the barista up ahead. Gennaro's Barista. Oh yes, thank you for the ever vigilant moderators. These streams are tame compared to how they used to be about 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. They're very tame. Anyway, like I said, thank you very much. I don't know if I'm going to stream on Friday. I'm trying to get Chucky in. I got to talk to him. And I'm trying to do the thing with Mark, who will forever be labeled Mark, who was captured by the Taliban, imprisoned by the Taliban. I'm going to talk to him this weekend. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure you'll find out. So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok on Happy Street. It's oh so happy here. Until next time, Chokdi Leo Jerkan Mai, and visit my website, visit again. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay? Ciao.